Hello. Today I'm gonna do some viewer questions that I've had over the past year, and let's just get into it. Please consider subscribing to the channel. It's a very small channel, and I'm just trying to grow it a little bit, okay? So I'd really appreciate it. Just go subscribe. It's okay. I'll do fun things. Moving on. Alright, so on the Humongous Fuzz video by Pepper's Pedals, Jack Benson asked, can Tony make a bad pedal? And the answer is no, I don't believe so. Like 5 years ago, I bought his HM Too Many Clones, which I'm sure you can guess what that was. And it was super solidly built, sounded awesome. And I also semi-recently got the Humongous Fuzz, which, same deal, it was just super solid and sounded amazing. You should check that video out. Okay. So on the Shivers demo, D. Maro Chavez, I'm gonna butcher so many names, I know it, sorry about that. He asked, does it chainsaw? And yes, the Shiver super chainsaws, that's for sure. Yeah, with certain settings you can do like non-chainsaw stuff. Unsound Circuitry, the maker of the Shiver, super awesome dude who runs that, by the way. You should go support him and grab a Shiver because it literally is super amazing. He says Shiver's literally designed to chainsaw. It is, however, voiced to be a unique thing of its own, not to just mimic the HM2. But yeah, it totally chainsaws. It's great. Again, go check out the Shiver demo on my channel. I put a lot of work into it. There's cello, and there's guitar, and it's really cool. Alright, let's see. On the demo for the Ampeg SS150 that I put out just a couple months ago, Lee Mullis asked, how'd you set up the SS settings? I think I had the gain on full because I'm just crazy. The thing with that amp is you can totally blast the gain on it and it stays very articulate, unlike, a lot of other amps. It's just really cool that way. I had the bass full because it just sounds great. Mids were at 1 o'clock. It's enough so that it's not super scooped, but enough so that it still cuts and everything, and just has that mid grind that those Ampeg amps have. Did I just say have? Treble was at 3 o'clock. Again, that's the only thing with that amp, is that the treble, if you just totally crank it, then it can sound a little harsh in the high end. Otherwise, it's just nice and present around that setting, in my opinion. The volume wasn't very loud for that video. Actually, none of my videos are done super loud because I have neighbors in the same building and whatnot. I'm sure most of you understand. The video before that was the Ampeg SS selling video or whatever, because I have 2 of them. And someone asked, what was your final sale price? And I believe it was $500 Canadian. Did it sell? If not, where is it being sold? It sold locally. I'm not really too into shipping amps and stuff. I don't want to deal with all that. In my video, it was just a quick little phone video of my PV Encore 65 combo, and I was playing the Shiver distortion. It was being boosted by my HM2, which is my favorite boost. And George Saris asks, what are the HM2 EQ settings? It doesn't sound like the all dials maxed Swedish death metal EQs. Yeah, that's correct. I never used the whole maxed out HM2 thing. I'm not actually a huge fan of it. I mean, I appreciate it because it's so dirty and gross, but and that's super cool or whatever, but it's just not my thing. I find the whole Swedish death metal settings to just really cut the lows out, and it almost does a bit crusher sort of thing. I know it's not technically, but you know, it just really mangles your tone, and I'm not super into it. But as a boost, I like to, and on that video, I believe I had settings at like volume at like 3 o'clock, lows somewhere around noon. Treble is like, that's the secret thing. I keep it at 3 o'clock exactly. Any more than that, and then it starts doing the whole weird HM2 bit crushed, super mangled thing. And gain I have either off or like turned up just enough so it just starts getting a little bit gritty and stuff. And yeah, that's how I use an HM2, and it's totally the best thing for boosting anything really. Whether it's like you can use it to boost distortion pedals and amps. I especially love using it to boost like big fat fuzz pedals. Sounds awesome. What's next? What tubes am I running in my Mesa Roadster? If I remember correctly, I think it's actually just the stock Mesa ones. The amp is back there, but I don't want to move the mountain of amps in front of it. But I think it's just stock. In my Halloween video for the Kink Stab Zone, that pedal was his like modded take on the Fab Tone from Dan Electro. It's kind of a hidden gem sort of thing, like a few people know about it and stuff. It's actually the pedal used in a lot of the Downward Spiral by 9 Inch Nails, which I thought was really cool. And once you like start playing with it, you're like, oh shoot, yeah, you start recognizing that. Anyway, Tanner questioned in that Halloween video, pedal is sounding really cool too. Did you have a boost out front? And no, I didn't. It was just the pedal by itself going into the NAD IR cab sim. I'm actually planning on probably doing another video with that, throwing it in front of an actual amp or something like that. I think it could be represented a little bit better. I still like how the video turned out, but in the same video, my good friend Dementia Theater asked, is that a 3-string bass? And it's been kind of like, it seems like it's a running joke at this point, because I broke a string on my BC Rich Beast bass like a couple years ago or something, and I just never replaced it. When I do my bass tracks, I just, you know, keep it pretty simple and I can work around it. And I think I have my first string tuned as the second string. So, in a way, yes, it's a 3-string bass. In my Black Hawk Balrog distortion video, Joseph Kramer asked any chance of a Balrog meets single coil demo, and unfortunately not, because I sold the pedal. It was a good pedal, solidly built, and it sounded cool, but just at the time, it just wasn't feeling it or whatever. But I do kind of regret getting rid of it, but I was probably just poor at the time, so I had to like move something. But yeah, depending on your rig, I know it could sound amazing, so yeah. Unfortunately, I can't do that though. In the same video, John Carlton asked, what's your overall opinion on the piece? It's a really good pedal. It's kind of like, it had less gain than I thought it would. It was kind of like a big muff that has a lot of tone options, so you can like make it sound a lot different, but it definitely has kind of like that sort of like big muffy tone, but maybe not as fat in the lows, and yeah, I don't know. It's like kind of like a big muff, but you're able to mix in a lot of mids or mess with the high end or low end and stuff and make it a bit tighter and everything. Yeah, it was cool. I'd recommend trying it. And some guy that surely I don't know in real life, that seems to go by People Eaters, go watch our videos, asked in the death metal, the DoD death metal demo, he asked, do you folks like coffee? Real coffee? And the answer is yes, very much so. Alright, in the Russian Plague video demo by Kink Pedals, Jake Spencer asks, would a tube screamer help or an OD? I mean, would it help? You could if you wanted to. I did experiment with it a bit, and I wasn't completely loving just how it was reacting, just because a lot of different fuzz pedals are, you know, they react so differently to guitar and everything, and can react very crazy to other pedals. And I don't know, I personally liked the Russian Plague just by itself. It's already being boosted for one thing. I mean, it's a rat into the Russian Big Muff. I mean, that's what it essentially is. So it's already being boosted, and can get pretty freaking crazy. Super nice pedal too. So the answer is kind of no, I don't think you need that, personally, in my opinion. So on my HM2, boosting an HM3 into a PV monitor, that video. Sonic Sound of Doom asks, since it's 4 ohms, do you think I'd be able to plug in two 16 ohm cabs into the back of it? And the answer is yes. If an amp can handle 4 ohms, then that means you can use two 8 ohm cabs, because